Yes, quite a view, isn't it? I think, you know, there's a lot of interesting features, and always in the first race of the event, the crews are learning the racetrack. So there'll be a lot of things to learn. Those blue arrows on our screen, that's the current, shows it running down from bottom of the screen to top. However, I'm not entirely sure if that's actually what's happening out there at the moment. The crews have been sort of saying it's not quite as predicted.
So 50 seconds to go. Everyone must get into position. There you see the start line on the right-hand side, and then they cannot cross that until the clock hits 0. So we'll see who times it right. Everyone get in their position right now. Canada first to get themselves set up, heading back towards the start line.
Well, here we go now. We see at the top of the screen, Spain, bottom left-hand corner of the screen, sorry, is Spain, USA tacking in late, but they're going to control that bottom end of the start line, which has been strong. New Zealand up and foiling with 25 seconds to go. They're at the back of the pack at the moment, but that doesn't mean anything for now. In the middle of the line, Switzerland are well positioned, Great Britain are well positioned, and France needs to hold back on some timing here. I like where the Kiwis are, but is there going to be a gap? I don't see a gap for New Zealand. Here we go, timing crucial. Watch for the line to turn red. It's going to be France at the top of the line, United States at the bottom. Who's called it right? Great start by Rottwell, Denmark. Can they get round Switzerland? They're going to have a fast angle in towards Mark 1, and the Danes, can they roll over Emirates, Great Britain?
So the race is on here at the first race of the Mubadala New York Sail Grand Prix. It is Nikolai Sehested and Rockwell, Denmark. On their left-hand side, though, you've got Giles Scott and Emirates GBR as they make the turn here at Mark 1, and we are up and racing in New York.
Oh, Lady Liberty's got a look at the Brits on the inside there, and Emirates Great Britain controlled the inside. Great boat speed from the British there. They turn away at Mark 1 first. They will control things. I expect the wind to start getting light ahead of them. Early manoeuvre after Mark 1 should be a strong move. Here go the Australians.
So they'll get themselves into position, and then the dance will begin. Remember, they need to hit that line when it goes white at 0. And there you see Manhattan in the distance. Beautiful day of racing here just off of Governor's Island. Lady Liberty, as they make their way now in. Less than a minute to go. Points at a premium here. Remember, 10 points to the winner, so Great Britain already has 10 points. Denmark has 9. Australia has 8. And the Americans have 1. Only the top 3 teams will race in the event final. That comes after 5 fleet races.
New Zealand have changed things up here, Todd. Look, they've turned back a bit early. They've not put themselves out the back, given a little bit more chance to find a way through here. United States late in. France, they're the boat, left-hand side of screen, that are going to try and wind it up from a long way out. That didn't work too well last time, but if they've got their timing right, it could be a lot better. New Zealand, slow at the moment, but well positioned. United States turn in late. Australia up and foiling, 23 seconds to go. Australia and Switzerland are well positioned at the moment, but it's who's got the gap. There you go. That's our pole predictor gold star on Australia at the moment, but can they execute from here? New Zealand are foiling at the bottom of the line, Australia at the top of the line, and Switzerland hoping for a gap. How's your timing in the middle of the line here? Phil Robertson, he turns the boat down on board Canada, but it's a little too late, and it's going to be Switzerland with the perfect start through the middle. They should lead the fleet to Mark 1, and the Roos are going to come flying in from the top.
Enough to clear the gas. Windward here when we can.
So it's Nathan Outteridge and Switzerland that has the lead. Will they get the whole shot? France is off to their right, pushing Canada also. And here comes Australia and Germany. Those 5 boats way out in front.
Big change here into Mark 1. Great news for the Swiss. They should be well positioned. Going to go straight, but they need to manoeuvre quite soon after Mark 1, as they've been talking about less wind. New Zealand, they're in the middle of the pack, but it's not a great start for them again this time.
9 and angle. Being patient, go straight.
So we are good to go here in New York City, day number 2 of the Mubadala New York Sail Grand Prix. With the Manhattan skyline in the distance, the 10 international teams are now in the start box as we are 45 seconds away from race number 3. Remember, it's 10 points for the winner, 1 point for last. It's all about getting the maximum points. And Stevie, the dance begins. Where do you want to be?
Oh, the positioning's going to be so hard on this start line. It's a short leg to Mark 1, so that inside position, the end of the start line nearer the top of our screen where New Zealand are sitting now, that's a pretty good place to be. But United States, they're up and foiling. Our pole predictor, the yellow dot at the top of the Danish wing there, they suggest they've got a great space, but I don't see how they're going to thread the needle from there right now. Who's got their timing right? Australia are foiling in the middle of the line, Switzerland towards the top of the line, but it's all about hitting the line when it turns wide at speed. France could have timed this perfect. They're coming through on the slingshot. The French look good. Oh, what
And
a
this is the
blanket
umpires'
start.
Early start penalty, USA and Australia.
Oh, they need to
no
drop
delay
to the back of the fleet, and with just a 4-race series to get to the final, pressure on Australia. But France, Delapierre needed a start, and he slingshots out of the gun.
So Chief Umpire Craig Mitchell delivers the news to the Americans and the Australians. They'll have to drop back as they approach mark number 1. This is race number 3 here in New York City, and you gotta like the position of both the French and the British.
Oh, the French are going to be able to hold on the inside there, and it's no distance to the first turn. New Zealand are on the inside. Expect them to split first. They'll be the first boat back out into clear wind, and it's all about the execution of the manoeuvre. Brilliant foiling jibe by the French.
The first 3 teams have all managed to execute that foiling jibe, which we know is critical at this first boundary where it is lighter under the shoreline.
Hearing that the tech issues have been cleared up, thankfully our tech team's a bit better than me. I think I'd have just had Control-Alt-Delete as my one option for the fix, but seem to have the boats going well, and let's hope things work out.
So less than a minute to go. Emily, final thoughts. Where do you want to be on this start line?
I think as we saw with the French, that top end of the line paid well, but only if you hit the line with speed. Right now, it's not looking prime for the US team, still off the foils.
Here we go, 41 seconds to go, and now we can see the fleet lining up out the back. Rockwool, Denmark, they're trying to find space, they're nearly foiling. New Zealand are controlling things. They want that inside position, the downwind end of the line, to try and hope that they can be on the inside at Mark 1. Switzerland, here comes Nathan Alderidge. He's winding it up from range. Tight battle with France. He's clear ahead at the moment. Looks like he's going to have the proper positioning here. It's all about timing, though, here. Who's got it right? New Zealand still off the foils at the bottom. Switzerland, too early. Nathan worried about being locked out. It's going to be Australia in the middle of the line, USA in the middle of the line. Pole predictor sits on Canada. All about timing. Delapierre with 4 seconds to go. Threads the needle one more time. Oh, the French are fast at the gun as well. I love the positioning. Delapierre, oh, he's absolutely nailing it today, finding a way to weave through the crowd. And as they all race away from Lady Liberty, it's going to be a sprint to Mark 1, but France look good.
Great start for Taylor Canfield and the Americans.
Canada are getting high, Todd.
Little loose, they got to back it down.
Oh, just avoid being last, that's what they said.
Here we go, mark number 1. It is the French controlling it the whole shot. They get in the circle first. Then it is Australia, New Zealand, and the Danes.
Oh, it's almost a repeat of the first race. New Zealand are going to be the first to manoeuvre away, hoping to follow the French, but Canada, they put themselves in the pack at the back there. They flew too high, got too aggressive,
Denmark
and Canada
also
have got a lot of work to do here. Chop on the waters, definitely making how high you fly the boat be hard to judge. And as you change through the tide lines, that'll be having an effect. We can see this tide line right down the middle of our course here. Slight difference in colour, slight white line. And either side of that, there's advantage to be found. Phil Robertson, well, he said he's behind enemy lines, but he seems to know his way around.
Phil Robertson on his 3rd team in his foray here in SailGP, was with China, was with Spain, and here he is. He's found a home in Canada. Emily, it's a pretty strong team that he's got put together with Annie Hager and CJ.
Yeah, it's a really solid team, and we have seen them make multiple finals this season, but every single time they come third.
Here we are, 40 seconds to go, Todd, until the final start. The blue marks on the screen moving from top of our screen to the bottom. That's the current on the water. That's the treadmill that's lifting the boats all up this way. Giles Scott on Great Britain. He'll like the space he has right now, but all the boats are well spread out. I think I'd rather be starting at the top end of the line on our screen. It's the more downwind end, but it's nearer the top of our screen. Canada and Great Britain, they're in a fight. It's all about winding it up now. Pole predictor has the Canadians in the optimum position at the minute, but Giles Scott shuts the door. Here we go. 10 seconds to go. New Zealand show us the favourites. Can they execute from here? It's all about timing now. Line's going to turn white. How's your timing, Phil Robertson? Beautiful from the Canadians, but they put the bow in. How costly will that slow down be? On the inside, it's New Zealand. Tactically, they have the right of way, but Canada and Great Britain, can they wind it up? Can they get enough speed to roll over? I think New Zealand are going to lead at Mark 1.
As they approach mark number 1, they go 3 wide here in the event final at the Mubadala New York Sail Grand Prix. It's New Zealand, it's Canada, and it's Emirates GBR.
Oh, look at that. New Zealand had the right of way, and they forced the Canadians and the British high and wide here. New Zealand are going to be comfortably in the lead. First manoeuvre for Canada. Can New Zealand stick this manoeuvre? Pressure on. Great move by Canada. New Zealand match perfectly executed, and right now, big advantage to New Zealand. They hold the trump card.